All right, good morning guys. It's Nick with NK Landscaping, again as usual. And today, we're gonna be building the patio. Two actually. We are at our yard, and you can see we got a load of some, what looks to be slightly used Unilock. That's not the case. This is all brand new. I know some of it may have some plastic wrap on it, but during somewhere in the 2020 to 2021 range, when COVID was going nuts, we bought a lot of Unilock. There were insane wait times, and you could not get a hold of this stuff. So when it came available, we bought it, and it never ended up selling. So we've been sitting on it, and we have a ton of it. So we've been doing deals for people where we're trying to get rid of it, and finally, we've got a big job that's going to use up a large majority of it. So we're moving that today, and we're gonna be starting a cool job. So I'll bring you along, show you some stuff. This was also the point where Unilock switched over to the Max. So this is Beacon Hill Max. You can see larger size units for improved efficiency. So that kind of screwed us a little bit because we had a stock of the regular size stuff, which they then made obsolete. And this is the new Max stuff. So luckily we're getting rid of it, and this is still pavers they make currently. This is all steel mountain color, so it's just a gray. But we're gonna run this to the site, drop it off. We gotta come back for another load. Sitting at about 19,000 pounds on the deck right now. All right, we're on site here. You can see there's been some work here already. This pool is a new addition to this house. So the owner wants to do a patio here. They're gonna be moving the door on the house. It's gonna be, I think where this window is, centered with the pool basically. It's a patio. This deck's gotta go, so that's what we're working on this morning. Deleting that, so we gotta move all this stuff and then break this down. There's gonna be some stairs that go down on this side with some gravel paths that wrap around. And then in the front of the pool, centered, is gonna be another small patio down there. And then this will all be graded out to be a really nice garden area. So we're gonna get to work here. First thing is gonna be the deck demo. Alright guys, apologize for not filming some of that. Waiting on a new tripod to come in the mail because the old one got destroyed, you could say. So, got all the railing cut off. Took a couple feet of the deck off already. So I'm gonna get that loaded in the trailer now. This is all going to the recycling facility later today. Chainsaw. We're using a chainsaw to do the demolition. Yes, you hit nails, but it's a lot faster than a Sawzall, I personally think. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion on that, but it's okay. That's just how we do it. Kurt is working on putting some caution tape up on that door. Like I said, that door is getting eliminated. That's up to the general contractor. But he's gonna delete that, and then they're gonna put some, I think, a double sliding doors right here where this picture window is. This whole, so we're not a sub. We're working directly for the client here. We've been trying to get some information from the general contractor, the pool builder, and they've all kind of been not so helpful, to say the least. The fence was supposed to be out of here fence company that's going to be putting a new fence in. We're supposed to take that out of here. It's not done, but that's not too bad. The biggest thing is just getting this deck out of the way. Once this is out of the way, we'll have a lot more room to do what we got to do in here. All right, guys, good morning. We're technically on day number 3 here. So day 1 was mobilization, day 2 was the demo of the deck, and a little bit more mobilization. We kind of called it early because we wanted to finally install our gooseneck hitch on our Chevy. So we've been having some truck problems with the Dodge, mainly some electrical stuff. I think we've got it sorted out, but we wanted a backup to be able to haul the gooseneck, because when you haul the skid steer and say the brush cutter or something, that won't fit in the dump trailer. And this truck doesn't have a flatbed to put the brush cutter in, or say the Harley rake will not fit in the dump trailer. So having gooseneck capability on the Chevy in case the Dodge goes down or has any more issues was really important to us. So we installed a B&W in-bed gooseneck in the wiring kit. So that was a mildly painful installation. You could see the 2022 quality Chevy. That's bare metal on the frame because the paint all falls off, but it's a different issue. But anyway, we're going to load up the skid steer and bring that down to the job. A load of clean screen fill should be there, as well as our 3/4 inch gravel that was delivered last night, so we can get to work. So let's make our way over. Okay, I totally forgot we needed to load up some Ready Rock stairs. Bobcat plus all the load and the weight of the trailer. This is about 18,500 pounds behind the truck. So we'll see how it does. It's got more than enough power. So it towed the gooseneck itself really well yesterday. So I'm optimistic. I don't think it's going to do nearly as well as that, because that is a 4-door long bed, and this is a single cab long bed, 8-foot versus 9-foot bed on that truck. So I don't know. Let's see how it does. All right, so one of the first things we need to do on site here is establish our grade, including the benchmarks. So benchmark is a reference point. That's usually your 0 point. It doesn't have to be 0, but it's a point that you reference that does not move. In this case, we're using the pool coping. The pool coping is not going anywhere. It's not going to change in height, and we need to base everything off of this. So I've now leveled out the laser on the pool coping, and the whole front of this pool coping is nice and level, which is good, because our patio is going to run right up against this. So I need to see the distance between the pool coping, where our proposed door location is going to be, which should be at the same height as that existing door. And then we're actually going to have some stairs that come down over here, so we need to get the stair height figured out. So that's the first thing we're doing here. And then we're basically going to strip out this area. We have some clean screen fill that we're going to be putting in here to raise the grade. And then we have our gravel as well. So time for some measurements. So Kurt was doing some math here. We got everything marked out. I moved the load of fill out of the way. That's mainly going to get used down here to build up this area for stairs. And I didn't want to have to drive through our new gravel. So I wanted that done first. Kurt's going to fire up the whacker. There's the 3 spots where those footings used to be. We really want to make sure that that's compacted, because there's going to be stairs here and we don't want that settling. And just anywhere where there was disturbance before, so there were a couple posts in the ground and stuff. So he's going to handle that, and then we're going to get stripping this area down to get ready for our 3/4 base. So we're working on getting this base dug. What I'm doing is I'm stripping all the grass out of here. I'm leaving the gravel on that left side. And once I get the grass area down to grade, I'm going to pull all that gravel onto that so I could dig to the proper height on the gravel side. No use in wasting that gravel. I'll reuse that on top of this base once we have it excavated to the proper depth. We just want to make sure that we're taking away any native soil down to our 6 inches worth of gravel height. So we're doing an 1/8 inch per foot slope on the patio here. It's going to slope in towards the pool. Basically the contributing factor to that, instead of a 1/4 inch, is how close it's going to put the patio near to the siding here at the house. That block foundation only goes about an inch above the existing siding. So in like a heavy rain, you don't want to have the patio that close to the top of the block. So we'd rather sink it down a little bit below the block, top of the block foundation. All this dirt that's coming out of here is going to be basically screened and used as fill. I do have to bring up the grade in the area where I'm dumping this excavated material a little bit for the stairs. No retaining wall is going to be necessary for the patio, luckily, but I do need to bring the grade up a little bit. So there's the new galvanized window well installed. You probably can't see it, but the old one wasn't tall enough. So we got that installed. It's screwed into place with some tap cons, and then underneath it, when we were digging it out, we noticed that they had some pea gravel with some filter fabric at the base of it. So we dug into that a little bit, put a new piece of fabric, and then just backfilled with some of this pool gravel that was here. I'm going to backfill around this now. We'll get that to grade and compacted, but that is a quick and easy fix. These things are so cheap. It was $26 for that new galvanized thing. Number one, I don't know how they can make it for that cheap, but if you got a job like this, you might as well replace it. Well, the old one was in good shape, but it just wasn't tall enough, so it's backfill. So we're making pretty good progress on our base install. It's looking really good. I'm getting my dirt in here for backfill, hitting it with the jumping jack, and Kurt's running the plate compactor around, and then all of a sudden I was running the excavator and it smelled bad, and I looked over and Kurt was engulfed in a cloud of smoke. It's not something you want to see. I just replaced the belts on this before we brought it here, and somehow this belt flipped over and then started doing a burnout. It's not looking so good. So we got to order another belt. I don't know why that happened, but we're going to try to flip it back over. If not, hopefully it'll run on one belt. But was that exciting?
Well, all of a sudden it got stinky and it smelled like burnout. So I shut the machine off and I got my Craftsman kit here and my nice ratchet.
You can check the review of that kit out on NK Garage, by the way.
Yeah, that video, Nick will put that link in the description for you guys.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. But it's this nice Craftsman kit. We're not going to be able to buy one anymore because they actually discontinued it. But it's the USA made Craftsman kit, 59 piece. You can still get the Chinese model, which is kind of similar. They're about like 50 bucks. They're really great. Chinese, America, wherever. It's just a good...
We literally use it all the time.
Yeah.
As seen today. But we're going to get this fixed and keep going. Alright guys, we're all parked up for the night. We got our 6-inch... we got our 3/4 inch base fully installed and compacted, and most of the way backfilled on that back side. Had to raise the grade quite a bit over there. But yeah, this is basically ready for 1/4 inch and then pavers. Yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow is Thursday. It's supposed to rain, and I believe Friday is supposed to rain as well. So we'll see if we even make it back here this week. But otherwise, everything's parked up nice and safe. I put the little orange fence back up too. All the attachments are back there, so site is clean. The trailer's here, so we'll lock it up. So I'll see you tomorrow if the weather holds out for us. All right, guys, we're here on the rainy day. We're down on the bottom now. Like I said, we got that 3/4 inch base installed up top. We're not going to go ahead and do the 1/4 inch just because we don't want anybody walking on it before we get a chance to lay pavers. But anyway, we're doing the same exact patio down here at the bottom. It's another 12 by 25, starting right about here at the base of this silt fence, going just past where this hill drops down. We'll get most of this base installed today, and then the excavator's actually coming off site. We gotta go fill in a trench we did for a contractor, so we'll be back again on Monday. But let's get to work, get this all stripped out of here, and get this moving. Alright, so I know camera never shows grade right, but we're a full Wacker-Neuson height below us. That's nearly 4 feet. And my bottom of my track is level with the top of the Wacker-Neuson. And we need to bring all that up nearly to the height I'm sitting at. So I did about like an 8-inch lift down in there using good material. I scraped out all of the organic stuff. We don't want that. We want a nice solid base. So Kurt's now gonna work on compacting all that, getting that in place. So yeah, we're just gonna do a ton of lifts. I put all the organic material down at the bottom. It's really just gonna get spread back out for cover, just so some stuff will grow and get some roots down in there for erosion control. But yeah, I'm gonna work on stripping the organic matter. That's all gonna go behind our fill. I'm using some of the pool fill as our fill material, and once I run out of that, I'm gonna go get our good fill, and we're just gonna pack this in lifts until we're up to height. So we did a couple different fills there. You can see on camera that turned out really well. The jumping jack does a fantastic job of packing that in really well. It's not fast, but it's effective, I could say that. The plate compactor just finished it off with a nice grade. We're basically at the point now where we're pretty much close enough to our patio grade where we can start the real patio dig for our 6-inch of 3/4 inch base. So Kurt's just setting the laser right now for our slope. But basically, this dot is going to be top of patio. So we need to dig down 10 inches from that. So that mark is 10 inches below. That mark is 10 inches. That's about as far out as the patio is going to come. And you get the idea. So this area really needs to come down a bit. I think at that orange mark, which is the back side of the patio, we got to come down 11 inches. So we're going to do all that and then compact that one more final time and spread whatever remaining 3/4 inch gravel we have here, and then go from there. So, all right, guys, before we head out for today, I'll show you what we did. This is cut back. This is going to end up being a 4-foot wide walkway, a gravel walkway. That's going to kind of wrap around each side of the pool. So we got that to grade. The patio is most of the way to grade. I think it needs to come up like an inch overall. I took the compactor and then packed with the bucket this edge. We are supposed to get some rain tonight. So this is all pretty compacted, and you can see we're only right about there. We're probably even with native grade. On that side we're actually below. So we didn't end up raising this any higher than native grade, just this center section that was bowled out. Yeah, everything's wrapped up. We're not going to make it back tomorrow just because, like I said, we have to go do some stuff for a contractor. We're just wrapping up a job that we started last week for them. But I've got everything I need for that job. It's my mom's birthday tonight, so I'm going out with the family for dinner. But we got a little bit of gravel left. That should be enough to do what we need to do on the lift. And this is another load of clean screen fill that we got brought in. So we're going to load up and get out of here. But I'll see you next week. All right, good morning, everybody. We are back after a nice weekend. Got a lot done. Excavator's back on site today. You may notice the job we were supposed to do on Friday didn't end up working out. We got a text from the general contractor at 4 in the morning saying that they weren't ready. So we kind of brought this out of here for no reason, but that's all right. We're back today, and just getting the machine greased up, and then we're gonna get to hopefully getting this top patio ready to go. We hit the quarry this morning, got a load of 1/4 inch in the trailer, ready to put down for that patio. My brother is coming in, should be here in a few minutes. He's gonna help us get that all ready. Yeah, Kurt's putting an ear out for him. You'll probably hear him coming. He's got a very loud motorcycle. But yeah, no, everything's looking good. We got a lot of rain on Friday after we left, and that lower patio is honestly looking pretty good. It was one of those kind of summer thunderstorm rains, so very, very high quantities of water in a very short period of time. We really didn't take that much erosion, so we're happy about that. But I'm gonna get this greased up. Shouldn't take much longer. I'll get to work. Now we also picked up a new electric pressure washer. We've been wanting one for this trailer because sometimes some of these bricks have dirt and junk on them. So I picked up a 2000 PSI Ryobi unit from Home Depot. I think it's $200. And we got a surface cleaner with it as well. So that'll help out. Like I said, everything we do, we want to make sure we're giving the best quality to the client. So if we can clean the pavers a little bit more before we sign off on the job, that's a good thing. All right, so we are now setting our screed rods to our proper grade. Like I said, we're sloping an 1/8 inch per foot this way. We're sloping into the pool, so any runoff basically goes into the pool. That's all right. That puts us about 1 inch below the siding on the house. That's as close as we want to get. Kurt and Dan are getting the grade rod set to the right height. I got my 1/4 inch in the bucket. Trailer's right over there. I might back that up a little closer depending on how it goes here, but we're gonna work our way out from that side over here, and once that's all screeded out with 1/4 inch, we can start laying our pavers. There is going to be that stoop section here, so we're gonna, once we get out to about that distance, we'll start building our stoop blocks. All right, check it out. Starting to lay some bricks. So all the screed rods were done in one sitting. We're pulling that as we go, and we are starting along the pool. We want no cuts up against the pool because that's the thing you're going to be looking at the most. Once Kurt works out enough, that'll be at the point where the stoop is going to get built. So I have our Concord blocks right here. It's basically a small retaining wall, and then that'll raise the patio grade another 7 inches of step by the time it's done. So Dan's bringing the pavers to Kurt. I got some cuts that I got to make. So we got our cut station set up right here under the tent, and we're moving real quick now, so let's get to work. So here's where we are at. We took a late lunch. It's 3 o'clock now. We got started a little late today, but yeah, Dan left. He has his other job to go to, but that works out really well for us because we get to slap out all this hard labor, and then towards the end of the day, me and Kurt can do the more fine stuff and clean up before we go home. But you can see our stoop area is marked out, so it's about 42 inches in depth and 10 feet wide, and that is centered with the center of the pool here. So what's going to end up happening is we're doing a half block here, which brings us out to about that 42-inch distance from the house, and it looks like we're going to do a full block out this way so that we're not doing any cuts along this line, and we'll only have to cut halves for this line. Check it out. So everything but the stoop section is done. Now, of course, we don't have any perma edge or poly sand. We're not ready for that yet, but stoop will get completed tomorrow. This is done for tonight, and we'll work on that tomorrow first thing. So I'll see you then. So this morning, first thing we got to do is install flashing up against where the back of this stoop is going to meet the house, just so that'll keep water from entering where the sill plate meets the foundation wall and keep all that water out of there. They're going to be replacing most of this anyway. Once they put the door in, we'll just put our flashing in now, so at least it's in place, because it's not going to be easy to do later. We have this wide piece of flashing that we're just going to cut. We're going to end up going for a 1 foot section of flashing, so that'll get us about 4 inches up into the existing siding. So I'm just going to cut this whole roll with the demo saw. There's not much left in here. But yeah, we're going to cut that and then install it, get it nailed in place, and keep building. Coping is going on, last piece, glued down. What you don't realize, there are 10 cuts in this coping to make everything work properly. Not only do you have to cut the 45s, we basically trim some of the end blocks so that there's as much symmetry as possible, and then you have to trim up against the house and everything. But that is all in. That's going to need a little bit for that glue to dry, and then we're going to do our 1/4 inch in here and lay our pavers, and then everything will be built aside from poly sand and perma. But that went pretty well, and it looks really good. So a little bit of wait time. I mean, there's always something else to do, but let's hurry up and wait. So we're back this morning. I cleaned up that pile of 3/4. We put it down on that lower patio pad. We're basically just going to use all of that to raise that patio a little bit, just to make the grade coming off the pool a little less aggressive. But today, Kurt and Dan worked on the perma edge this morning, so that's all in place, and we are going to get the poly sand in here and compact this. That looks really nice. Did a quick pressure wash just to get off any dirt or grime, and then as this dries, we can see if there are any cracked blocks, because the cracks hold on to the moisture, and when the patio dries, you'll visibly be able to see the crack. We already did a big inspection. We replaced 2 blocks that were cracked. This is the new pressure washer we got. It's just a Ryobi 2000 PSI. We like it because it's very compact, and it's got the soap container built in, and it folds up really nice. We're just powering with the generator, so it's a gas-powered electric pressure washer. But yeah, we have the little 12-inch surface cleaner attachment for it, so that came out really good. This is looking really nice. We're going to take lunch, and then there may be a few that we replace. There's some weird efflorescence and or staining. Kurt also ordered an iron cleaner to see if we might be able to get some of these iron spots off of here, but otherwise, this one is done except for perma and poly. So I'm going to go take lunch.